The industrialization of agriculture began after World War II as a way of addressing global hunger and making our food supply more efficient and safe. Between 1960 and 2015, agricultural production more than tripled, resulting in an abundance of low-cost food, according to the UN Environment Program. But the shift towards large-scale industrial farming in the last 60 years has come at a price to our health, the environment, our climate, and economic equality. The damage to the environment is estimated to be about $3 trillion a year. Yet, large farms continue to grow, occupying 65% of all agricultural land. Welcome to Against the Grain, a series presented by Grace Farms Foundation that explores organizations working at the intersection of impact and innovation to fix our food systems. I'm Karen Kariuki, your host and the Foundation's Community Initiative Director. Since opening Grace Farms, we've been providing food relief to our communities. But as food insecurity soared during COVID, we wanted to do more to help. Join us on this hopeful journey in search of solutions to fix our food systems. Stone Barns Center for Food and Agriculture is a nonprofit farm and educational center with a partner restaurant, Blue Hill at Stone Barns, located in Pocantico Hills, New York. Its seeds were planted in the 1990s by the Rockefeller family, together with conservation planners, organic farmers, and many others who came together to set a common vision and a purpose for the land. Stone Barns Center's founders invited Blue Hill, a Manhattan restaurant owned by Dan, David, and Lorene Barber, to be Stone Barns Center's on-site restaurant partner. The partnership between a nonprofit education center and a restaurant was rare, and together they are an innovative model rooted in the local ecosystem. David Barber, co-founder of Blue Hill and a founding partner of Stone Barns Center, joined me for a conversation about the impact of regenerative agriculture.
Stone Barns Center for Food and Agriculture was established in 2002 and opened to the public in 2004 at the same time as the restaurant. Our initial role was really to be a gateway to the activities on the farm and the programs that were to take place and were under development. So the Stone Barns is the owner of the property that the Rockefellers were generous enough to donate, and Blue Hill is the tenant, and the nonprofit operates the farm and the educational programs, and we support that through purchases of goods from the farm, but also engagement with most of the programs that take place on campus.
For nearly 2 decades, Stone Barns and Blue Hill Restaurant have been bringing together farmers and chefs to push the boundaries of sustainable farming and the food we put on our tables. It's been a celebration of farmers and the origin of their ingredients. As David said, it's really trying to understand what farmers are trying to accomplish and how we can be better customers.
You really want to have a different relationship with the farmers, and that is to say you want to understand what their relationships are on their farms, in particular with nature, but a whole host of ingredients to their operation.
In our conversation and in the Against the Grain series, we have talked quite a bit about the importance of regenerative agriculture and how this type of farming requires partners to link arms and come together towards a shared vision. But what does regenerative farming really mean?
All life on Earth depends on a couple of inches of healthy topsoil, and we are going through it at a rate that is alarming. So at its core, regenerative agriculture is just what the word means. It's regenerating soil, and in many cases you can improve soil health and soil quality, which is what we need to do to reverse some of the damage that's been done.
Blue Hill at Stone Barns is always looking for new ways to engage with the byproduct of food. Recently, they introduced a chef-in-residence program, inviting innovative chefs to interpret the ingredients of Stone Barns Center and the Hudson Valley region through their own culture, identity, culinary traditions, and community. These chefs, while also exploring the intersection of cooking and farming, are shattering boundaries to also advance racial and gender equity.
In that relationship of balance between the equity around the table and the results that you're seeking, I think leaning harder on the equity, if you're looking at balancing a scale, is in the best interest of actually achieving the goal with regard to ecology and soil and health of people, because the more equity and inclusion you have at the table in the conversation, the better the result will be, just by nature of the fact that the entire species and their descendants are lobbying for the change you seek, and they all have a stake in the game. One program in particular, the Kitchen Farming Project, was designed to get chefs who are out of work learning more about farming, so literally get them planting their own gardens.
One of the things we care about at Grace Farms is education and engaging all stakeholders in the collaborative process in the hope of creating new outcomes or solutions to our humanitarian challenges.
You are a participant, and that is the beauty, the strength, the power, the spirituality of the food system, is that we are all participants. We all have a stake in that game. You're making choices with your dollars, with your time, with what you choose to put in your body and the reasons you choose to do it.
There are so many challenges within our food system, but conversations like this should give us hope about the future of food and the impact we can make together.
The interrelationships that ingredients have on super healthy farms are fascinating and produce just uniquely delicious food. And with all due respect to my brother and other cooks, sometimes they need to just get out of the way because the ingredients are so incredible. You're tasting Mother Earth and what she has produced in a healthy environment, and you can literally taste that and know intuitively as a species that this came from good and is going to do you good by eating it. And I would like for people to be able to feel that more often.
As we have learned from David, investing in our soil has ripple effects into the quality of the food, our climate, our health, and the very future of food. If this story of innovation and impact inspires you, please share it. The more we educate ourselves about the food systems we rely on and those working to fix them, the more we can come together to find innovative solutions. Thank you for joining us and our efforts to create a more efficient, more equitable, and more just food system.